Episode starts and Santa is trying to explore something in a shabby place. Despite his entire effort, he is not eligible to sort out these mysteries and Gabimaru's patience is lost. From his hand with time, Santa has turned red by watching you as Uriha. By watching him sleepy and tired, Sigari has decided not to solve this mystery by sacrificing his sleep, but Santa doesn't permit her and wants to proceed on this case on his own. He wants to take a bath and pretends that he will freshen up after that. In reality, he has slept and Gabimaru has held his head in his hand. He knows that the way from onward is full of mysteries and hindrances that needs to be figured out. They can face a danger that can take their lives without sorting it out. Therefore, to reach Horai, they need to locate these mysteries. Gabimaru is pissed off by gaining the elixir of life, and he knows this elixir is some step away from him. It can take him to his wife, so he has decided to face this rubbish on her own. His mates are sleeping, and he moves to the deep forest. There is so much fog at night he cannot watch something still. He is moving ahead like air and crossing the way. By jumping, he can remember the words of Halko, who informs him that they have passed Woods Beach, and if they want to arrive at Horai, he must chase the south. By trusting Halko, he is following his direction alone. Something has compelled him to stop its singing, and he cannot understand who is singing in these dead trees. Soon he realizes that it is not other than these trees who are not moving but chanting. There may be trees like Halko, but they cannot talk or move like Hako. Something alarming forbids him to move forward, as Santa has told him to find out the degree before stepping inside the south. A picture emerges before his eyes. She is his wife, whom he wants to take back to life. To get her back, he can do anything by hook or by crook. He is also ready to face any danger and has decided not to pardon her if he fails to bring elixir. Also, he is unaware of the presence of a beautiful little girl, May, chasing him. As he has no option, he steps inside the forest without delay. One thing is resounding in his head and mind, that he needs to have elixir. Also, he knows Horai is more beautiful than Hojo and Aishu, who decayed many years ago. To arrive at this destination, he needs to pass by Shinsun Kyle, where hermits live. He has arrived at the desired spot and is nervous because he is some step away from elixir. Suddenly he feels something around him. He is Herman Chu-jin, who has recently killed a warrior and doesn't want to compete with another human. Therefore, he gives him a golden opportunity to run away. Ignoring him, Gabimaru watches him from head to toe because he is not human, and the tense thing is that he needs to be eligible to figure out who he is. Besides, Jujin is cursing his fate and he has to fight and eliminate the humans at his turn. They are not giving him a break without giving him a chance to protect himself. Jujin attacks him, but Gabimaru proves vigilant and breaks his hand with his fighting skills and repeat his mind-blowing kick that twists his head contrarily. He has rectified his neck in a blink of an eye and halted at him with extraordinary powers. Gavin is stunned but fights back with him. He has again turned his neck around and fire appears from his cheeks by thinking he has twisted his neck. The second time, Jujin is pissed off. His body has started to lighten up and Gabimaru takes relief. Soon his calming expression becomes pain because Jujin has become a black man. He punches Gabimaru, who smashes from the wall. It's Yujin's turn to wrongly assumes that Gabimaru has died. However, he has realized he can be a good elixir if he has taken him. Just then, Gabimaru appears and says that it's too late. Jujin is shocked because he can't be human. An iconic fight starts between them and Jujin has firmly believed that he has never met such a strong person. Both are attacking each other. Even Gabimaru has broken his arm, but he has regenerated it while dodging his attack of extraordinary physical power. He thinks of a way to eliminate him. All his moves and attack proves nothing before him and his mind is becoming blank about what technique he should use now. Accidentally, he kicks his stomach, and Eugene's reaction is different. This time he vomits blood and turns into a girl. By transforming into a girl, he has become more aggressive and decides to kill him at any cost. Jean moves her hand, which creates a light around her fist. Now she points out at Gabimaru, and his stomach has squeezed with the pressure of the wind. It's Gabimaru's turn to vomit blood. She is back to back passing the wind pressure, and it's tough to dodge them. These strikes are taking his life, and he is trying to avoid them. Only he is thinking one thing: how to kill that beat. Before these attacks overcome him, he has to stand up and starts beating her until it turns into pieces. He needs to eliminate to get the elixir, and he doesn't care if he needs to sacrifice his life to grab it. Also, he thinks of splitting her apart so that she wouldn't heal with the lightning speed of punches he overpowered her in. miserable condition he inquires from her about elixir. Without providing him with a reply, she is transforming into flowers. A flower has turned into a monster, and Gabimaru mustered up his courage to fight against this monster. It's not the first time he is combating the monster. He has licked the dust of many monsters. He needs to analyze the technique to turn this monster down before he can analyze him. Monster starts to realize the shock at him. This current is so much power that he is buried under the stone. When he skips the stone, then monster tosses him to the rock with the help of tentacles. Here Gabimaru tries to attack him with his special move, but his bones have broken and he has no stamina for a counterattack on him. Back-to-back attack of this monster has made him fragile, and he has become a puppet in his hand in a pathetic condition. Gabimaru thinks that he is in a terrible nightmare because he is always successful in killing the monsters. How can he lose them? He has jumped into a dream with his beloved wife in the business. She is concerned about him and asks him to take a rest, and he is following her instruction without uttering a single word. She prepares medicine for him to keep the nightmare away from him. Gabimaru knows it's a dream, but he can consider it beautiful. Here he asks for forgiveness from her for not bringing elixir. After that he opens his eyes and is entangled in this monster's tentacles. This monster is squeezing him and blood starts coming out from his body. He knows he is going to die. Just then his master appears in his imagination and guides him to taste the acute pain of his opponents. He gives him an important lesson when he is about to die. Then accumulate remnant strength. After gathering, give your rival a strike that he will never forget. According to the guidance of his master, his body has begun to burn, and it has also burned the tentacles of his opponents. When the monster is going to kill him, Mei arrives and creates protection magic around him, and they have fallen from the mountain. Monster has transformed into Jujin and wants to know what Mei is doing with him. The following day, Senate apologizes to Sajiri for not paying attention to the case. Filled with guilt, he has already watched him in the village, but there is so much mist it's not allowing him to go further. Halko knows that it's difficult to move on for humans here. Also Yuzaria prefers to stay here because Gabimaru is a warrior who can deal with them. If something happens to him, then it's his fault. They shouldn't worry about him. Oppositely, Sajiri is worried about him and wants to locate him. Halko decides to find me in the forest because he is assured that she has followed him to rescue her. All are ready to accompany him. He is the only tree that can walk through the mist while moving to Horai. They are concerned about the hermits. Sajiri is also worried about him, and she is scared to hear their name. Halko discloses that they are 7 in number who prefer to live together in the horror. These hermits enjoy quality time in each other's company. Whether they want to become a boy or a girl is up to them. Some hermits prefers woman because of their beauty and delicacy. They are interrupted by Jujin, who is pissed off about the entrance of humans. Juffa gets angry with Sujin because he gives humans a chance. In a fury, he attacked on his face and his face burst out. It's taking time to generate his face because Gabimaru has given him a tough time. Also he has compelled him to transform into a monster. Gyo and forbids do fall from punishing him because they are family and are not allowed to hurt each other. Only Gyojin has the right to beat them up further. He points out his mistake when he killed a strong human and threw him into the pit. He assumes he has become a flower there. On the contrary, Jujin found a monster dead there, and he knows these humans are behind them. They are furious and are so much powerful, so they need to be careful and kill these intruders. After that they drink, and Sujin, weak enough to die, regains his power with a few sips of this juice. Apart from this, Halko updates them about these hermits. When a hermit masters all abilities, then he becomes the god to rule the continent. They have split into 7 parts, each has a different role and specific ability. 1,000 years ago, Hako revealed that he is a human who lives happily in the village. Everyone has a long life here, but one day something has ruined everything. They have started turning into trees and losing their consciousness. Also they need to know what they should do. Then they look at dead trees. In reality, they are humans who have turned into trees. In his family, his daughter transforms into a tree, and he can't do anything to save her. Sajiri is concerned about the Gabimaru. On the other hand, Gabimaru is alive and looks surprisingly at me, who has protected him. His memory has revived, where he has perceived that Sujin is a monster, not a god. If he is a monster, there should be a way to kill him, and he stands up with a spirit to gather his friends to kill this monster. With their help, he can eliminate him. At the same time, Tamiya and Yamada appear. They are planning to kill him with a chilled expression. This brings the episode to an end. Subscribe Anime Hub for more such